I'm delighted to take this opportunity today to introduce you to the course that I'll be teaching in the fall, English 320. This course will take the form of an extended group project focused on an album of letters collected by London librarian and self-professed sufferer of autographic mania, William Upcott. Compiled during the early decades of the 19th century, this album includes letters by 48 women. Many of these women were writers with a public reputation, although the women represented in the album range widely in terms of the kind of writing and public work that they engaged in, as well as their class, religious, and sexual identities. In this course, students will engage with the album through a digital facsimile of it, as well as with conversations we will have with the archivist at the New York Public Library, where the album is held. As a class, we will be involved in transcribing the album's contents and contextualizing the letters through research into the women who are represented in its pages. To give you a taster of some of the women that are included in the album and whom we're going to study, here are 5. Anna Barbeau was a poet who was compared to Shakespeare in her own lifetime. She was an outspoken critic of the slave trade, a supporter of women's education, and an advocate for religious toleration. Her condemnation of British colonialism in her epic poem, 1811, which we will read in the course, resulted in an early example of a feminist backlash. Elizabeth Wright Macaulay was a comic actress who protested against the unfair treatment and meager payment made to female actors. She later became a committed socialist. Elizabeth Fry is well known as a leading prison reformer of her day. She was a driving force behind new legislation to make the treatment of prisoners more humane, especially the treatment of female prisoners who suffered from their vulnerability to sexual abuse at the hands of male prisoners and prison guards. Lady Eleanor Butler and Miss Ponsonby were 2 women who, rather than face their being forced into unwanted marriages, left their families to live together in a cottage in Wales for 50 years. Their rejection of heteronormativity and their queer lifestyle alternately fascinated and scandalized the public. I hope you will join me in English 320 for a course that will take full advantage of being in person, finally, to work together in an interactive and project-based way as we work together to learn more about the eminent women that are featured in the album.